Hello everyone, it is me, Karina, and it has been absolutely ages since I've been with Alex. We were just trying to think of when the last time we filmed a video together is.
I don't even remember.
We don't know. As you see in the title of this video, I am filming a second episode of Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. I got really good feedback from you guys on my first version of this. Alex and I have been hanging out a couple of times lately.
Literally, we'll sit down for like a quick coffee and we're there for 3 hours.
Yeah, we have had 3-hour coffee dates multiple times.
At the same place. I feel like the worker.
They think we're crazy. A lot of times that we've been talking, we've gotten on the topic of social media, of course, because we both can relate to certain things in that sense.
When we were meeting up and stuff and just talking about life, there's certain things that came up that kind of led to this kind of topic, and then we started talking more about it and being more, and we realized we are on the same page.
And then I thought it really tied in well with this kind of these videos that I've been doing, and that is how we got the idea of filming this. So we're gonna kind of go over 4 topics that relate to social media, relate to I guess self-esteem, confidence,
body image,
and pretty much tell you guys what we think. We're also filming a video on Alex's channel.
It's gonna be a bikini collection try-on kind of thing, which ties into this because we'll get into that in my video, but obviously having body image issues and stuff, and standing there in a bikini is kind of awkward sometimes.
Yeah, some people don't enjoy that exactly, so make sure to check out kind of part 2 or part 1 of this video.
Whatever.
The other part of this video on her channel. The first topic that we're going to talk about is to ask yourself why you're following a certain person, certain personality, whatever, group of people on social media. I would start off by saying, like, if you're following someone, I would assume that you kind of relate to this person in a certain way, or like they have a message that you agree with, or it doesn't even have to be a message. Like it could just be like if they enjoy the outdoors and you enjoy the outdoors and they do certain activities that you really like.
Or even pictures that are like Tumblr inspired, like of a cool coffee cup, like you just like looking at that.
Yeah,
like
again,
artistic.
Yeah, visually pleasing. I think what got us on this topic when we were talking is that we see a lot of comments, like, even like on our pictures and stuff, and like goals or like
body goals.
Yeah, body goals.
Life goals.
I've seen every kind of goal
I know.
possible.
Human goals. I saw that the other day, I was dying.
Her point being is that like we see people kind of like envying other people, either body-wise or like their life or anything. That's great if you're very like inspired by somebody's like, hairdo or like makeup.
Or you take inspiration from it.
And I see people saying like, oh my god, I wish I looked like you, sad face, crying, and it's just like, maybe there's like better reason to be following someone just to be like staring at their pictures wishing you looked like them.
Like, I have friends in my life that are like obsessed with certain people on social media, with the way they look, the way they live, and they just constantly look at their stuff like so upset with their life isn't like that.
I'm not saying like who to follow or who not to follow, I'm just saying like, you know, follow people for the right reasons and follow people that inspire you.
I find when it comes to like feeling like your life is crap because you're looking at like other pictures of how other people like present themselves on social media is not a healthy way to live your life, because you're setting yourself up for failure. Because, and I mean, I see it not even on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, always, it's always like, oh my god, goals, 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 like if this isn't my life in 10 years, I'm gonna die.
That is so not okay. Don't say that, and don't think that, and don't write that, and like, I hope, like, don't try not to feel that way. I guess this kind of actually leads into our second topic of not everything is always as it seems.
Yeah. 100%.
Of course, like on social media, everyone's portraying a very positive image of themselves. Not everybody's writing all their worries and all the struggles that they go through. And I've heard people say like, oh god, she looks so happy, like I wish I lived her life, like look at everything she's doing. But it's weird because you don't know when you're saying something like that, like person, you don't know, they could be struggling with depression, they could be struggling with lots of things. Or if you say, oh, like I wish my body looked like that, it's like you don't even know, they might be battling with an eating disorder. Like, I don't think anybody lives a perfectly happy life.
I mean, so there are steps to be happier, and I think one of the main ones is don't tell yourself that you need to have a life like someone else, because you're never gonna be happy if you feel that way, because you don't know, like Karina said, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And I said this in a vlog not too long ago, but Dan and I, we vlog every single day, and everyone's like, I love the fact that your videos are always so positive, like, so amazing, you guys never fight, you blah blah, you're perfect. And it's like, no. We film 20 minutes out of our whole 24-hour day, so you don't see everything. And sometimes we edit things out, we're like, oh, we don't like that, oh, we sounded mean there, oh, we were fighting, so like take it out.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
of course
like,
a fight is like a personal thing that like
Exactly.
you might decide, hey, like we might not include this on our vlog
Exactly.
for everyone to see, and that's okay.
And so we were even saying, like, for us, we edit our vlogs to be more positive because we want to have something positive for you to watch, but it's still not real because we're choosing what's being put in. I mean, that's just
and
a
it's
small
not, and it's
example.
exactly, and it's not even that it's not real in a bad way. It's that
Yeah.
like I think everybody watching videos and looking at pictures anywhere, it could be posed. You don't know exactly what goes on behind the picture.
I feel
or
like
anything.
pictures are a lot more different than videos as well because a picture can be edited in so many different ways, and you don't know how long it took this person to like have a candid picture of them smiling with their boyfriend. It's like, you don't know, it could have taken them an hour to get the perfect shot.
Just to tie back into what you're saying with the video, like I don't think people should think like, oh, this isn't real, because of course, like you're only giving them 20 minutes of your life, and of course it has to be edited. And once you kind of just look at it in a way that like, okay, I'm watching this. Is this exactly their life? Okay, no, it is just 20 minutes of their life, so they might have negative experiences when they're not filming. Look at things and ask yourself questions. Don't just see whatever you see in front of you as that's all it is, because there's always like a bigger story to things. There's always like more to think about whenever you're watching something.
I keep it pretty real on YouTube, you know, I'm very honest with how I think about things, but obviously I'm not gonna film when Dan and I fight, because that would be so awkward for you to watch, you know? Or
And I
like,
think if you are in a fight and someone takes out a camera, most of the time that would probably just amplify the
yeah,
fight.
exactly. I'd be like, well, what are you doing? Why are you filming this right now? Oh my
Some things are as they seem, some things aren't. It's just like to look at things and kind of like question things and ask yourself, okay, like I might not have the whole story here. If you are always thinking like, oh God, like I wish I was this person, just remember that, you know, everything is not always as it seems, and you don't know, you can never know everyone's very personal struggles. So like you said, a lot of YouTubers do come out and say their struggles, but who knows, there could always be little things that they don't even realize themselves that they're not like admitting to or whatever.
Exactly. As a YouTuber, I'm sure most of you guys know about Shay Carl, or he did the Shay Tards and stuff, and he recently, like last month, came out with the fact that he was an alcoholic, and he was a Mormon, so he hid it from like everyone in his life because, you know, you can't drink or do anything like that in the religion, and because he's had a very like open personality and was super like obnoxious and stuff just naturally, people just thought that was him, but it was actually him drunk. And I watched him back in the day, his vlogs every single day, and he used to be really overweight, blah blah blah, and he came out and said that he was an alcoholic, and
that probably contributed to his weight gain.
When he quit, which was around 4.5 years ago, completely like went sober, he lost all that weight. And I remember watching him every single day thinking, wow, I wish my life is going to be like this when I'm older and have kids. He's so happy all the time. He's so positive, and I felt so inspired.
Yeah, and even when he was losing weight, people were probably like, oh my God, like, I wish I could lose weight like that. And like, they didn't even know why he actually had the weight on in the first place.
Exactly,
you know?
And he came out and said that he was very untruthful to a lot of people, and he was an alcoholic. And that really shocked me, because I was like, whoa, that just proved that I'd been watching this guy like wishing my life was gonna be like that, or that my like future boyfriend was gonna be like him. I don't know what people go through behind closed doors.
Yeah, and yeah, not everything is always disclosed to you, which is okay. Like he obviously was battling something that he was obviously not ready to like share with the world. Now he comes out with it, and you think, oh, okay, well, all that time I was like looking up to this guy that was actually had a very serious struggle. These are all very much related to each other, but the third topic is editing photos, which we kind of touched on before, and our warped vision of beauty. And by our, I mean like our society. I don't know about all cultures, but I guess we're kind of talking really about like Western cultures.
Yes.
So I saw on Alex's Instagram account, I think a week or two ago, she posted a picture, and she said, she was kind of like coming out saying that, you know, in the past I would have edited this video possibly, edited this picture possibly.
So basically, I had been wanting to post a picture, because I mean, everyone knows Facetune. You smooth the skin, you fix it up, you got a little plump here, you bring it in, you know.
I've heard of Facetune, but I've never used it, but I've heard that like, if you start editing, you can't stop editing.
Exactly. So I would originally use Facetune to put detail in my hair and make it a bit more white, because it used to be very yellow back in the day, especially. And that's all I would use it for. And then I think someone showed me how to smooth the skin, and then eventually another friend showed me, oh, you could do this and that, and I was like, oh my God, this is so fun, blah, blah, blah. It like, really was
It's like it became fun to you, but without realizing like...
It was so bad for my mental health, because what ended up happening was that I would look at myself in the mirror and I would be like, I look horrible. Like, I look terrible. And I would feel so down on myself because I was just like, I didn't look how what I perceived beautiful to be in my head and
what you're making yourself
exactly.
to be beautiful. Like,
and then I was like,
beauty you're making
people
yourself.
see me in person, they're gonna think like, oh, she doesn't look like that. Like, what the
I mean,
hell?
you still did look the same, I would say, but like I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, or like, in pictures you position yourself in a way that's flattering. In videos, it's more real because you're like in a video.
Yeah, like if
know
you
what
want to
I
like
mean?
go like this. You can't
Exactly.
really edit.
Exactly. A full week before I posted that picture, I actually stopped editing my pictures except for the tones. And I was very, very nervous. And, I was with my sister and Kat, and they were like really helping me feel a lot more less self-conscious because I was so scared. And not one person noticed.
So, of course not.
That just goes to show me. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, like I look horrible. And this is something that I actually don't talk about a lot at all because it's like very personal, but I'm very self-conscious over the way I look.
And like I think a lot of people are. I'm gonna say girls, but I don't think it just ends with women. I think men can feel it in some ways too.
Oh
but
yeah, of course.
I just thought that when I saw Alex's picture and then when we went out for coffee and we were kind of talking about this and she opened up to me in this way, and like thank you for opening up to everyone else in that way. It's not always easy to say.
Yeah.
I just thought that, wow, like this is something that we need to share with people if we can. Okay, well going back to what we were saying before, even like a lot of you probably follow Alex and you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's perfect.
Yeah.
And even Alex felt like that sometimes. And I think we all feel like that sometimes. Like when I was in college, I was like battling with body image a bit. And I remember just you put on your bikini and you think, oh, like, why is my stomach not flat? Or like, why are my arms not like as toned as I want them? I mean, those are things you can work on if you exercise and stuff, but at the same time, like you have to understand that your body's made in a certain way and you can't really change that.
Karina actually inspired me to post that picture, not telling me like, oh, you have to post this picture, but it was more like,
right, we had talked. Okay,
she had said that she one time took a picture and she was like, oh, I'm not gonna post that because like she didn't think she looked good, and then she was like, wait a minute, that's my body.
Yes, that's what. Okay, I think that's where I was going with this. Is that like. It was actually last year when I was traveling in Colombia, I took a picture, I was wearing a bathing suit, I was on the beach and like my butt was showing and I'm like, oh, like I'm not gonna post that. Like, I don't know, my butt didn't look the perfect, like, butt goals that it should, I don't know. And I thought, hey, like, if I'm not posting that, I'm just falling into the trap of like, of this whole vision of beauty thing. And I was like, I felt like it was my duty to post it after that because I'm like, that's my freaking butt. Like, how am I supposed to be embarrassed of something that I'm just given and that I'm born with? And when I do post it, people are following me are probably gonna be like, hey, my butt's not perfect either, but like, Karina posted that picture, so that's kind of cool. It's just so weird, this like warped vision that we all have, and how the fact that Alex and I have both questioned ourselves on whether or not we should post a picture online of what we look like, of like who we are, what we are. It's
what
matter that we're
with.
made of, you know? How is it that we have this image that we're not supposed to have things that we're made with?
I know.
That's it. It's like we think that we're not supposed to look a certain way, yet we're like, we all look this way and we all feel the same way about it. It's like we gotta end this somehow.
I know. Everyone is born with a specific body type. For me, I was born with a bigger frame, which in high school I was always very self-conscious over. I was an athlete, so I had more muscle than most people. And I remember guys in my class making comments like, oh, I'm so jealous of your guns. And I would feel like I wanted to melt into the floor because I was like, that is so embarrassing. And I remember all these little things popping into my head growing up, seeing what girls look like on magazines or in TV shows, or even having friends be like, oh, that girl's so perfect, her butt's so big. Nowadays it's like the small waist, the big butt. I feel like that's what everyone but it goes like this, right?
And it's gonna always change too. So like obviously there isn't like a vision of beauty if it's always changing too, of like what we think. Right now it's like and I for one am so not made that way. I'm not hourglass at all. Like I have hips a bit, but I'm very kind of like
straight,
boxy, straight down. And it's sad that we like have this.
I know, because Karina is a beautiful person, and I think
so is Alex.
But I think beauty should be confidence.
And I think I truly believe that being confident does just radiates when you're a confident person, and it does add to like the beautiful person that you are.
But not everyone thinks that way.
No, not everyone does. And I just, again, like it's so sad to me when I see people commenting, especially our younger followers, like when they're looking up to people that are maybe older than them. It's got to stop this whole thing of wanting to look a certain way, and because that's beautiful, it's like, why don't we all just kind of like start by accepting how we do look, because we're all women and we're all like beautiful as we are. And like I've come to terms that when I sit down, like I have a bit of a roll. Like I said, in the past I would have been like in a picture and like I had a roll there and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't put that online. I have a roll.
Yeah.
Everybody has rolls. Like
I know.
it's literally like your like anatomy. Like you have a roll when you lean. Like who cares? And even if you're not leaning, if you're just sitting and you have a roll, like that's life. And it's just so sad that we think something so natural and so normal is like horrible. I'm just using rolls for example, but there's other things as well.
Literally so many, and it's messed up to me that like, for example, my boyfriend makes me feel so beautiful because he constantly tells me how beautiful I am, and my family. But I think in my head, this is how like it's messed with me, is that, oh, they're just saying that because they love me. They don't actually think that.
Yeah.
And like,
it's really like it doesn't matter what anyone says to you if you don't feel beautiful. Like millions
I know,
followers
people telling me I'm beautiful, and I'm like, I see one mean comment, that's all I think about.
Yeah, and I think everyone can relate to that. Like, of course, something mean stands out more than the things that are like
so,
positive. I think the first step in like getting over that is admitting it to yourself that you actually feel that way, because a lot of people are like, oh no, like I'm confident with my body, and then they're like at home going like, oh my god, I hate everything. I think like talking about it and like even with friends, like girlfriends, and kind of like talk about, hey, like I don't always feel great in my body, but like other people might relate to you, and then you guys can kind of just talk about it like me and Alex do, and kind of say like, no, like kind of realize how it doesn't really make sense what we're all thinking and what we're all saying, and if you realize that we're all not making sense together, it's kind of like empowering, and we think, hey, no, we're actually all very beautiful, and like we look great, and we're healthy, and we should be happy that we're healthy and our bodies work, you know? But the last thing we want to just say, and it ties all of this up together, is that, you know, be comfortable with yourselves, appreciate your bodies, appreciate how beautiful you are, and like remember that it's not all about the outside, it's like who you are on the inside. Appreciate the person that you are, and realize that you have so much to give, and if you're a loving person, if you're a generous person, if you're a funny person, like those are all traits that kind of speak louder than just your body image, you know? And realize that, you know, you might follow Alex and I on social media, and you might think that we even live perfect lives. Like, we don't live perfect lives.
I don't think anyone lives
I don't think a perfect life exists.
And like, what even is a perfect life? Who made the word perfect? And
I don't know.
Why? Like, no.
So I think it's all to say there aren't perfect lives, there aren't perfect bodies. Like, love who you are, and let us know what you're thinking. If you relate to this, if you're thinking that like, oh, I'm not liking my body right now, write to us. Like, I don't know. Do you answer a lot of your, like you answer most of your comments? If you guys even DM me, I would try and answer as many DMs as possible.
It's
like
hard because people ask me for advice on how to get over it, and I still struggle with it. So I feel like this is something we can work on together.
Yeah, it's more of a discussion, less of a like we're trying to teach you. It's more like a giving you something to think about and talk about, and talk to us about it, and we can like kind of comment back and forth about it. I think we're into doing that. I think that kind of sums it up. Again, don't forget to watch the second part of this video. We're gonna be filming it on Alex's channel. And now we're gonna be getting into our bikinis and conquering our fears of putting on nice bikini bodies out there, rolls and all.
I'm so nervous actually, like my hands are all sweaty.
I'm sweaty all the time. You nervous?
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it because like this is my body.
Okay, so that sums up our video today. Like I said, comment below how you feel about this video. If you have any kind of feedback to give us, be sure to subscribe to Alex's channel and my channel as well.
Give it a thumbs up.
And a thumbs up to this video if you enjoyed. Links will be in the description box below. Goodbye, guys.
I'm a long way from home, out in these stars.